Greetings, Glitter Gang, and welcome back to Kathryn Scraps Live. My name is Kathryn, and in this video, we're going to be designing the paper covers, the matting papers for our inserts and things. So what I've got to do is I made a list, and so I need one that's 6 1/4 inches, so that's 6.25, by 4 1/4, so that's 4.25. So I need one of those. I need to get one that's the reverse of that, so one that's 4 1/4 by 6 1/4, and actually I need two of those, so I'm going to say okay, and then I'm going to say new, and I'm going to say okay again so that I have two of those. Then I need one that's 2 1/2 by 5 1/4, so that is 2.5 by 5.25, and I need one that is 4 1/4 by 3 3/4, so that's 4.25 by 3.3, 3 3/4 is 3.75, and I think I'm going to do two of those instead of doing the two 2-inch by 3 3/4, because I can just cut this one in half to make those. Okay, so now that I've got all of those, I just need to open my digital papers. This is Simple Stories. This is Mix and Mingle. So I want the 12 by 12 papers. Gonna open all of those, and then I'm gonna open, and I want the cards, because we've had really good luck with the cards, manipulating them, so we can work with the cards as well. And then I'll open some of the larger embellishments. I'm not going to open all the embellishments, but this will give us a good start. Marcel, are you stuck? Are you stuck, sir? I think Marcel may be stuck in a box on top of the fridge. I think we may have a problem. I think we may have a Marcel problem. So maybe he cannot be in here. Maybe he's going to have to lose privileges. Okay, let me go get the ladder and deal with this little monster. What's up, sir? Sir Monster? Are you stuck? Are you stuck, Marcel? Can you get out of this box? Hey, can you get out? Or are you trapped? Hey, hi, can you climb out, please? I know it's scary. I know, can you come on? Can you come out? Can you go over here? Can you go over here, please? You did it, you're almost free. Okay, look, let me put this down. Okay, good job. Climb on that. You can do it. Good job. Good work, buddy. What a good kitty you are. All right, you made it. Okay, now, what do you want to do next? You want to come down? Can I help you? Let me help you. Oh, let me just get your butt. Okay, all right, we did it, buddy. We did it. Okay. We did it! Oh my gosh! We did it! You're gonna go in the house now, okay? That's what's... There you go. Maybe Marcel's not ready for the office. Maybe he's not ready for more freedom. Okay. All right, so I'm in Photoshop and I've got my photo bin. So this has got everything I need to make. So let's start. Oh, I didn't do the one on the back. I also need to do, for the back, I didn't write this down, but the back, we need a piece that is, we need two that are 4 3/4 by 4 3/4 and that have that 1 7/8 inch by 2 5/8 inch blackout square. Okay. All right. So 4 3/4 is 4.75. Ooh, 40.75 would be quite large. 4.75 by 4.75. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm in the photo bin and I'm just going to move it from where it is to next to all the other ones in the bin, just so I don't forget it. And we'll just go ahead and start with this one. So with this one, we need to make allowances for the thing in the corner. So actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to make 2 of these. Let me go down to the photo bin and move the other one up. And we'll put the little blackout square on each of these so that I just am reminded. Okay, and so we're going to start with, I'm going to do a black square. And the way to make black is all zeros. So you can always make black. Black is all zeros and white is all F's as in Frank. So, okay. So what I did is I clicked on color down here, and when I click on it, the whole color wheel comes up, and I can make any color I want just by moving this slider, and then I can go in here and grab the color that I want. And then it'll tell me what the hex code is for that, and I can save that hex code if I want to recreate that color later or whatever. Or if I already know the hex code, I can put it in, and I already know black is 6 zeros. Hex for 6, right? So it's so 6 zeros for black and 6 F's as in Frank for white. Okay, so I'm going to make a square that's 2 inches by 2 3/4 inches. And actually, I'm on line now, so you can see on the shape tool, I just have line. I didn't switch to rectangle, so now I'm going to make a rectangle that's 2 inches by 2 3/4 inches. And then I'm going to put that here. And then on the other one, it goes in the upper corner. So on one of them, it's the upper left corner that's blocked out, and on the other one, it's the bottom. It's the bottom left corner that's blocked out of the 4 3/4 inch squares. Okay, all right. So now I've got everything. I know exactly how it's going to look. So now it's just about, okay, find a design that's going to work in this kind of L shape. That's where we'll start. And of course, last time, you know, what we ended up doing was we ended up manipulating something. And we may do that this time. So like this is giving me an idea of something that could be cute, but because the design is on the left side, right, it's not perfect. But just not perfect doesn't mean we can't use it. So what we're gonna do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to flip this image. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip the layer horizontally. Okay. And what that's going to do is that's going to put the tree on the right, which is a good start for me. The other thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to use the eyedropper tool. So that's this little tool that's an eyedropper right on the left under the paint bucket. I'm going to pick up this green because I want to know what the hex code of this green is. And then I'm going to go to the rectangle and I'm going to just cover it up. Anything that's not the tree. All right. And then what I'm going to do, all right, then what I'm going to do, I'm just gonna, merge all these layers together. So I'm gonna take, all these layers, I'm gonna highlight the first one, I'm gonna hold the shift down and highlight the bottom one, and then I'm gonna right click on them and say merge layers. And what that does is that kind of just, it makes them one piece again. So it's not one piece and 10 squares, it's just one piece. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go back to the photo bin so I can see all the things that I need to see. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to drag it down onto this one. And then I'm just going to expand it until it covers the whole thing. And I might even, do I want to expand it even? No, that's too far. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to put it like that. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to the original and I'm just going to undo everything. Okay, and you can just hold, you press Control Z and just hold the Z down and it'll go back to the beginning. Because this time what I want is I want just the letters. I don't want anything other than the letters. Now I'm going to end up with tree whether I like it or not, but that's okay. We're just going to cover it up just like we did the last time. So, all right, so you can see I've got this. So I'm going to go back to that rectangle tool and I'm going to cover up, you know, anything that isn't words or musical notes. Okay, and then I'm going to do that same thing I did before where I'm going to highlight the first one, hold down the shift key, highlight the bottom one, right click, merge layers, and then now I have just the words. So I can get my pointer tool, go to the photo bin and drag it down. And now I'm gonna just shrink this enough to where it fits. Now this font is a little compressed side to side, so I actually can stretch it just a little bit. I think it'll let me. And so now I can just put that there, and now we're gonna rock around the Christmas tree. So we've now made this card so that it's gonna work. Okay. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hide that shape because I just wanna make sure, you know, everything is appropriately covered. And I'm going to say yes, great, fantastic. And then what we're going to do is we're going to flatten the image, which is going to, and then I just crop it to be the correct size and get rid of anything that might be dangling off an edge. All right, so now this can go on the inside of that piece. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the photo bin. I'm going to drag it onto this 13 by 19 sheet, which is where I have everything we're going to print. Okay? So now that's ready to go. So we've got that one done. And we can go ahead and we can close this. And I just always say, no, I don't want to save when I close. And that's how I know that I've done it right. So now we're working on this one. So we're going to look for something that's going to work. Actually, hold on one second. What if, would this one look better over here? Maybe. What do you guys think? Which one do you like better? I'll show you them side by side. Or let me get rid of this, then the back. What do you think? Do you like the words on the top or the bottom? All right. I'm going to move on to a different size while you think about that. So I'm going to do okay. So I'm thinking I want I'm thinking about what's going to go on the front of my gatefold. I think this is actually pretty nice. So I'm going to go ahead and use this. I'm going to just drop that there. So all I'm going to do here is just make this big enough to cover the whole thing, and then I can just move it to where I think it looks best. Like, do I want to see more of this bun on the bottom? Do I want to see more of this bun on the top? And I think I like it better like this, actually. So I think what we'll do is we'll do it like so. And then I'm just going to go ahead and crop. And this one I can go ahead and just drag over to our main one where we're going to print them. This will go on the outside of the gatefold. All right, so bottom and top are tied. I'm gonna go with top, I think. All right, so all right. Okay, so this one we need to redo, but this one is good to go. All right, so now we need something still to go with this one, and then we'll see what we end up with. All right. So, Mix It and Mingle is part of the lyrics for Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree. So, I'm thinking, like, maybe we can do a front and a back where we kind of play off that. But oh, we need to remember this one for the future because that one's like perfect. Because yeah, it's Mix and a Mingle and a da 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 da. That's the Jingle Bell Rock. So we can kind of play off the Jingle Bell Rock thing by using Mix and a Mingle. And I think there's something to be done with this Mix and a Mingle, like notepad paper. I think there's a way we can probably use that. Let me go look at the embellishments. Maybe there's an embellishment too that we can look at. So we want to look at the embellishment bundle. Okay, there's a nutcracker. I think I might be able to do something here. All right, so we may be at the point where we're going to build a little scene. So this is a cookie exchange scene right here. I wonder if, because there's a cookie exchange tag in here, so maybe we can do something with the cookie exchange. Let me scroll down and grab the cookie exchange tag. It's this yellow one. Okay, so it's All right, so one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this yellow and I'm just going to go straight to this sheet and I'm going to give myself a yellow square base. All right, and I'm going to put the piece back on top. And then I'm going to go and look at this tag. And I think what I can do is crop the tag portion off the top. Okay, and we'll start here. And drag this down here. And this I'm going to stretch as well because it's also got a font where it can tolerate being stretched a little bit. And I don't know if you all can see it, but it does have this red line on the side. So I'm going to try and see what I can do about this red line. I'm just going to make a rectangle to cover it, just a really skinny one. Okay. All right, so now we've got join us for a cookie exchange. So here is the perfect place to put like a cookie or something. Or, so we have this cookie. So maybe we just use this and we maybe find, I just saw a Starbucks cup. So maybe we'll use the Starbucks cup as well. I'm gonna go grab that. Here it is. Let me just see if there's any other like obvious, oh, here's 2 more cookies. And there's a little candy cane that I might grab as well. Okay, so one thing I already don't think that I want is for this thing to be yellow because of the cookies being brown. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go find a light blue that I can use to change the background. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this light blue from the snow globe here. And I'm going to go up to this piece and I'm going to use my paint bucket. Okay, and I'm going to change the color of some of these things if I can. Okay, so it's not quite gonna work. So the problem is that there's a little bit too similar, these colors. I don't think my paint bucket is quite matching the way I want to. I'm going to just see if I zoom in if that makes a difference, and it doesn't. So now we have to maybe live with it. So what I'm going to do now is what do I want to do? I want to get rid of this from here. which I can get rid of it because, all right, so the cookie exchange idea is fun. If we go here, I get rid of the background. I can drag this table over to my sheet. I'm gonna flip it. And it definitely needs some kind of shadow or something to help it pop off the back. And try and give it a pretty strong shadow. Okay. All right, so that's there. So now what else can we see? Got our little cookies. What else can we use? Just thinking. All right, so this is not in the collection, but I mean, it's pretty cute. So I just I'm just trying to think if there's anything else I want to put so it doesn't just look like it's by itself in the room, you know what I mean? So I'm just looking for stuff that I can use. I do want to use the little houses for something. Ella, I agree. They're super cute. All right, so we've got this tree. And what I might do is make it bigger. And then put it behind everything. So now we've got a Christmas tree in there. And then I'm looking for something that can maybe fill in like this area. Like, do we have some presents or something? It's just to add depth and make this look like it's in a room. You know? And speaking of, I'm gonna give the Christmas tree some shadow as well, but just not. Gonna also see if I want to outline this in white. Yeah, I think so. Okay. All right, so to outline in white, edit layers, right click it, edit layer style, click stroke. And then you can say if you want it on the outside, the inside, or the center. I tend to find I like the way outside looks the best. And then you can make it any color you want. You can make it match your collection, whatever. And again, I'm just looking for like Christmas presents or something. So this little buffet with all the houses, I'm gonna see if I like it. Like with the Christmas tree in between, you'll see what I mean. Okay. So what I want to see is, you know, is there a way to incorporate this where it looks like, you know, there's a buffet and maybe put it at the back? I don't think it's doing anything, so I'm going to just get rid of that layer. But maybe we can use them somewhere else. What I really need is just presents. Piles and piles of presents. Like what's at the bottom of this tree. That's what I want. Oh, there's multiple cute tables. Maybe we need like a little chair. Maybe that's the grounding element we need. All right. I'm just trying to make this table look like it's part of a room and not something I stuck there because it fit. All right. So I'm going to cover up this pudding here on the corner with this chair. And I think if I then scooch this over a little bit and maybe scooch this tree over a little bit. And now it looks more like a living room. So we're going to go with this. Okay. So basically we're going to take the black square that was our placeholder square and put it behind. And then I'm going to flatten the image and then I'm just going to crop it to be the correct size so that I think after I flatten it, I don't have to worry about this, but I'm never 100% sure. So, and then I can drag this onto the main page and put it with the other one. All right. So we've got the back flap, that's done. So now we just need to do the journaling on the inside. And I think what I want to do for that is something like this. And what I might do is just duplicate this joy and we just have two joys. You can have two joys during the holidays. It's okay. It's allowed. Oh, what if we... Okay. I just had an idea of maybe trying to make it look like there's a row of joys. So to that end, I'm going to crop this and just see if I like working with it better once it's cropped. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to place one all the way to that side. All right, Joy. Okay, so the only problem with this idea is that the lines are kind of, okay, hold on. I think I know what I need to do. I need to make the original Joy be in the center. And then put a Joy on either side. Yes. All right. And then we'll duplicate that Joy. Okay. And put that Joy over here. All right. And there we go. All right, so that's ready to go. All right, so that is twins with this one. Okay, so I've done, so now I need to do the one that's a tag. So let's go down and look at the tags and just see what we've got in the tag department that we can maybe manipulate. Again, because we're looking for journaling spots. Kind of. We're kind of looking for journaling spots. Like, it's not the end of the world if they're not journalable. Okay, so this one I think I can do something with, but it can't be red. So I can make it tall and skinny, and then we'll just have to change the color. And I'll explain what I mean. So, okay. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to just drag this down onto our bookmark, and then we're going to actually, let me just resize this. So we know that this needs to go on our little bookmark, and to do that, it's going to be 2.5, and ultimately it needs to be 2.5 by 5.5. So we can go to image, resize, image size, and we can change the width to 2.5, and then it'll be the right width. And then we can just start kind of turning it into a thing. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, with the eyedropper, I'm going to get this red. Hi, Donna. I hope you're doing well. I'm going to make a square on the back to make this whole thing red. And then I need to choose what color do I want it, you know? So I need to think about what color would look good behind these little things. I think I'm going to grab this blue again, and we're going to go ahead and just, all right, there we go. And then we're going to go into the original, and we're going to make it blue as well. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut. And I'm going to cut a slice out of the middle. Okay. All right. Now that I've cut a slice, I'm going to drag my extendo piece onto the main one. So now I can take this up to the top, and actually I'm going to duplicate that one the, because we want one that goes all the way to the bottom. And we want one that goes, I would say, within an inch of the top. And then we need some middle one that's going to kind of make everybody fit together. So let me zoom in a little bit so you can see this better. So what my goal is I've got to line it up here. Okay. And then I need to zoom in down here and adjust these ones. And sometimes to get this, you need to zoom in even more to really fine tune it. Okay, so, all right, so now I have my piece. And it's a little off to the side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take those 3 individual layers and I'm going to merge them so that, oops, I still have the zoom tool. So this is now one thing. So now I can just center it. So what I am going to do is I'm going to highlight it and shape 1. And then I'm going to center it. And then once I've centered it, I can drag it straight down again. Yeah. And I can just leave it there. And so that should work. Yeah, let's do it there. Okie dokie, so now we have our little sweater guy. All right, so now I'm just gonna merge all the layers together and now I can drag it over to the thing to print. So we've got the front and back of our bookmark. It's not a bookmark, you know, the tag. Okay, and then I'm gonna duplicate it because it is a front and a back. All right, so we've got those. All right, so now we need to do 6 1/4 by 4 1/4. So that is, we're looking for something that's more horizontal than it is. Actually, I mean, we can use squares as well. We just have to be careful not to pick stuff that's going to be too much work to manipulate. So let's go ahead and let's use that house because we do think the houses are cute. The houses in the collection. So let's go ahead and grab this house. And what we're going to do is we are going to give it, I think we're going to give it a different background color. I think we're gonna do, we may be doing this blue yet again. And the reason why is because I don't like the way the door disappears. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna try and crop it really tight and get rid of really tight to the bottom. All right, so I just want to make sure I don't get any of the green at the bottom. Okay, so now we've gotten rid of that. I can now get rid of the green around the outside of the house. And now we can put the house on this and it's nice and centered. Okay. All right. So now I'm just going to embiggen it. And then center it. We're going to go tonight, but I want to have this, I want to just be able to print this after class. So in the chat, the question is, are we going long and not having a show tonight? We're going to have a show tonight, assuming, you know, everything stays normal. But we are going a little bit long this afternoon because I want to get all of this photoshopping into one video. Should we cover the bottom of this with little cookies? Hold on. Let me try and show my viz. Should we just put little piles by this so that this gives the vibes of being like a gingerbread house or like part of a holiday party? Like something kind of like this. Yeah, I think it's more interesting too. I think we need like a cup of cocoa. And I know I saw one down in the embellishment section. I'm going to flip the cocoa so the handle is swapped. I feel like these two are okay. I mean, I'm gonna, let's, all right. And I'll just put a couple of these stars here and there. Okay. I don't think we need this star. Maybe I want this slightly behind the... candy cane. There we go. There we go. Alright, I don't need that star. Alright, we'll just have the one star. We don't need this candy cane either. That's in the middle of the house. Okay. There we go. Yes. Okay. Alright. So we can drag this over now. Alright, so we've done, just running down my list here, we've done the 6 1/4. We still need to do the 2 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. We've done the 2 1/2 by 5 1/4. We've done the 4 1/4 by 3 1/4. We've done the 2 inch by 3 1/4, and we've done the 2. So we only have the 4 by 6s left. Okay. All right, so just to clean up what I've kind of already used, I'm just going to close some things. And I'm just, again, I always just say no, don't save anything, please. Okay. All right, so now we're looking at 4 1/4 by 6 1/4, and luckily there's a lot of stuff in this collection that's meant to be 4 by 6 cards. So those are pretty easy comparatively. So we have this whole section that's all just this kind of stuff. So we'll go, definitely want to use this guy for sure. And then let's see what else. Yeah, let's go ahead and use this one as well. Okay. So there's two different ways we're going to use this. So this one, we're going to go resize this, and we know we want the height to be 6.25, and that is going to make the width over 4 1/4. So we need to make the width 4 1/4, and then we'll deal with the height being a little too short in another way. And the way that we'll deal with the height being a little, oops, I put it on the wrong thing. It doesn't need to go here, it needs to go here. Or does it? All right, let me just delete this and resize this page because I don't know why. Oh, it's 13 by 19. Okay, 4 1/4 by 6 1/4 is what I need. Okay. All right. So now I can drag this onto here and it'll center itself, okay? And so it's very easy when it centers itself like this to, what you can do is you can just use your eyedropper tool, grab the yellow that the background is, and make yourself a yellow square to fill in the rest. And then just make sure that square is behind it, of course, and then you're good to go. So something like that is very, very easy to do. Oh, except, looky here. So what's revealed is that so sometimes when companies turn their collections digital, they just start digitally cutting up the stuff they used before. And sometimes you end up with like little pixel rows of a color from another tag because they used to be together on a tag sheet or something like that because they weren't cut totally precisely. It just happens, and sometimes that's how you get those like white, like you saw that I had that white bar I had to cover up with another piece with another rectangle. Sometimes that just happens. Okay, so that's done. So now we are gonna just do Santa. And Santa is gonna be done the same way. We're gonna make Santa 4 1/4 inches wide. and that'll make him too short, but that's okay. Oops. Sorry, I have to constrain the proportions. I had to unconstrain the proportions earlier, and now I have to reconstrain them. All right, so Santa's now 4 1/4, and we're going to drop him on there. And the only possible issue is that he's, oh, actually he's, oh no, I didn't drop him on the right thing. Oh, no. Sorry, I dropped Santa on the other card, not on the other card, if that makes sense, which probably doesn't. All right, so now I'm just going to eyedropper Santa's background and give him a rectangle in that size. And then I'm going to flatten him. And then when I flatten him, you see how I have this white streak here now? That white streak is what I'm talking about when I talk about how they don't always cut them apart perfectly when they're changing a paper from digital or from changing a paper from what they would send to their printer. So what they're doing is they're cutting up their print file that they sent to their printer, you know, so that there's individual elements. Okay, so now we just have to rearrange this so that everything will print. And then we are good to go. And when you go to close all your images, you just want to make sure that you are, anytime it asks you if you want to save it, if it's one of their files from the company you digitally bought the paper from, I say no always. If it's one of my files, if I really like what I made and I think I might want to use it again, I'll go ahead and save it. I have a print ready folder that I create in every single digital collection I buy, where I can save things that I have made if I want to save them. Okay, so now it's just about, you know, how do we arrange this so it's going to work. So we got to just play Tetris a little bit here. I don't know if I'm going to get everyone on here. But let's try. Nope, we are. We're going to get everybody on here. All right. When you arrange your sheets, you make fewer cuts if you place them so that their corners are touching like this. So you see these, the four corners of this are touching here. The four corners of these are all touching here because I can go wham, wham, and that cuts all four of them kind of at the same time. And then if you have one that's not involved, this one I put off to the side because it has the same background color as this one, and I don't want to get confused about where to make my cut. So that's why I have two groupings and one singleton. And I could put this one literally anywhere. It can be anywhere on the sheet. It's just that it's not, I'm going to line it up with the tops of these. So the cut that I make to cut across the top here will also cut this one, and it'll help me a little bit. With this one, the reason I'm not putting it next to it is because right up here, I can't see where this one ends and this one begins. Like, it, you know, if it was lined up on my trimmer, I wouldn't be able to tell that. That's why I separate them like that. And that's it. So now all we have to do is print this and we are good to go. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to end the show here. I'm going to print it while I'm uploading everything and making the thumbnail and all of that for YouTube. And then that way tonight it'll be ready to go when it's time to put the next wallet together. So I'll be back tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern USA time. That is roughly 4.5 hours from now. So whatever time it is where you are now, that's when I'll be back. If you're watching this on YouTube, just check the playlist to see how tonight's class went, or if it's not there yet, just wait a day or two and it will show up. For those of you who are watching in the archives, just click to the next video. And if class hasn't happened, it won't be there. But if class has happened, then it will be there. So thanks so much for joining me, everyone. Tonight we're going to put together wallet number 2 in this project. And then we will be, well, hopefully we'll get the whole thing matted and done and all that. I hope so. I want to get another whole wallet done today if I can. So that's why I went a little over today. I think it's just because last week, if you were here last night live, on the recording, it's not as apparent because I always make a local high quality recording of everything I broadcast, but I was fighting for my life against Comcast last week. So like it was rough. Like I didn't get as much done as I wanted to. And so I want to do a little bit of catch up this week. So probably both sets of shows will go long, both the afternoon stuff. Well, the afternoon stuff has gone over, and I believe that the stuff tonight may go over as well, so we'll see. But anyway, thanks so much for joining me, everyone. I hope you have a wonderful afternoon or evening if you are ahead of me time zone wise. For those of you who are headed to dinner and headed to bed, have a wonderful evening, have a wonderful dinner, and have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you next week. For those of you who will be joining me later this evening, have a great afternoon, and I'll see you tonight. Thanks so much for watching. Bye now.